You know, I don't think there's anything that you guys have cast, like every guy actor you guys cast on every show you've done is just freaking like spot on, man.
Oh my
It's
God.
Thank you
So
so
nice.
much.
So
yeah,
nice. You.
it's a just a real treat to talk to you guys.
That's so nice. Thank you
Right
so much.
back at you.
Um, so with shrinking, uh, well, I think the one thing that kind of stinks is that I have to wait till Fridays to watch the show.
Where are you?
LA.
Okay, well, you can watch it at 9 o'clock tonight.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, they
Yes,
just
hot tip.
You know, when you guys start working on a show like this, you guys get excited about all the possibilities of who you can cast.
Oh, yeah. Especially on a streaming show with Apple because it attracts the best of the best and you can put names on your list like a Harrison Ford and not be laughed out of the room for putting a name like that down. So it's a luxury to get to work on something like this. It really is wonderful.
agreed.
So he wasn't attached to this before.
No,
Oh wow.
only Jason Segel.
Well, like how did this took some like I would think it took some like major like cojones to like put him on a he was like a major huge like he's like the biggest movie star in the world. Had he already done 1923 yet?
No,
He
no,
had
we had him
not.
first.
I know, but you have to understand the person with the major cojones is Bill Lawrence. So we put together a list and it was our first like conference call about the show because it was such an important role. And we put Harrison down, but in a way where Brett and I were like but it doesn't necessarily mean, we're going to end up there. And we went through our list with our producers and they narrowed it down to maybe like 5 top choices. And then Bill said to us, look, I'm going to say something and you're going to think I'm crazy, but he's my neighbor. And I really want to see if I can approach Harrison Ford and if he would be interested. I think he would be great in this. And it's going to take some time because I think he's overseas shooting a movie. I'm not sure when he's coming home, but let's get into it with his agent and see if this is at least scheduling wise a possibility. And he really took it and ran. So we can't, besides putting him on a list, we can't really take credit for Harrison because oh my God, Bill did it, and Brett Goldstein did it. Like Brett Goldstein was the first person to meet with him because Harrison was in London and was shooting Indy, I believe, and he asked to meet with like someone, and Brett happened to be in London, and they met for dinner. I can't imagine what it would have been like to walk into the restaurant and see Han Solo and Roy Kent having dinner. What? But that was the beginning. And he loved Brett and he loved the script. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
Nice. And like sort of the supporting series regulars like Lukita Maxwell and Michael Uri and like Luke Tennie. Did you guys I guess besides Michael, did you guys know those two before you started casting? Like, did you know their work or anything about them?
I knew Lukita from Generation, which was an HBO show that she was on. But I did not know Luke. Brett?
Yeah, I didn't watch Generation, so that I didn't know either one of them. They were both fresh to me.
So when they're both great. Like Luke is just fantastic, man. Like how far in advance do you know a character's arc throughout the season to bring him in like that? Because when we first meet him, he's like this angry young man, and now you see him like what episode 6 now, whatever it is. It's like he's like evolved to like he's sweet and kind. How when you first bring him in just for that first audition or self-tape, do you kind of sense that, or do you just want to go forward because it was so good?
I think I think when we start a pilot, or for this in particular, they have a general sense of a kind of arc for the character of what they want to do or where it's going to start. You don't have, and we didn't have, a multitude of scripts. You don't see episode 4 or 5. You have a pilot script, and in some cases we'd have stuff like for Lukita, for example, we were pulling stuff from the second episode, which they had pages for, because we needed it and because there wasn't a lot in the initial episode. So there's only, there is so much you're getting depending on the producers, but Bill Lawrence is someone who very much does this. He'll talk to an actor beforehand in a session to kind of get a sense of them. But I think, and Debbie, you can correct me if you think this is wrong, but I think what also kind of transpires through the process of once somebody is cast, they're also learning more about who that actor is and their strengths and weaknesses, and learning how to write to them to continue to develop character. And that's what kind of happens as the season goes on. But I think going into it, they absolutely have a kind of general arc of where they'd like the character to go. You just hope, and we have been in this case certainly lucky enough to have actors who have enough going on and enough to pull from to be able to show a lot of variety of color, and both of them do in spades, as well as the rest of the cast. I think they all do. So
Bill Lawrence is always a producer who says, like, we're going to cast this person and then we're going to learn more about them and write towards them. So
nice. What about like the I guess the day players? Do you rely heavily on people you brought in before, and you like, oh, this person hasn't booked before, but let's bring them back in, or do you like just really want to meet new people? How does that work for you guys?
I think it's both. We're always looking to expand our knowledge of who's out there. But we also have people that we love and we want to see them score, and maybe they haven't so far. And if they haven't, it's not, it's like, it's rarely anything that they did. It's just that somebody else was more right, or it's the producer's trainer, or who the hell knows, there's so many things. So I just think that it's important to be open. And we are those people that maybe it comes from a bit of insecurity, but we don't want to miss anyone great. So we watch everything that is sent to us, and we go through all the submissions that are sent to us, because you never know. And it takes time. We learned very early in this process, and a project that we did before this, which were the first things that we cast during COVID and involved self-tapes, completely, that if you give an actor 3 scenes, you have to watch the 3 scenes, especially when it comes to comedy, because you don't know when they're going to tap in. And there were a lot of people that, the first 2 scenes might be very good, but not funny. And then in the 3rd scene, all of a sudden they make you laugh, and you're like, oh, okay, they just need a couple notes on the first 2, and we can sort of steer them in the right direction, or give them a suggestion of something to look for to apply. So, I think dating back to like our first projects, discovery is something that's really exciting to Brett and I. It's not fun to just work off of lists.
No, but I also, something else that Debbie said in the beginning, which I'll speak to in terms of for actors, is actors, you need to understand that, when you asked about, we do bring up people that we know who possibly haven't hit. If you're going in regularly for casting offices who call you back and call you back and call you back, even if you're not necessarily booking it right away, in the casting office's mind, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and they have a belief in you, and we in particular have a belief in you if we're bringing you back. If you never hear from us again, it could be any number of things. It could be like, well, you're so specific that there's only certain things. But for many actors, we bring them in a lot because they haven't hit it yet again, and we do believe in them, and we do believe in their talent, and think it's just a matter of time. And there's other times we think, okay, we can't bring them in right away again because we just saw them for this role. So you don't want the producers to be like, why are they pushing this person so hard? But certainly, and there's certain people we've seen, and it happened with this project where we read, there was an actor in particular who we read for the role that Michael Urie got, who we loved. Debbie and I loved him. Our producers didn't totally get it for this, but will we absolutely bring him in again? Yes. Do we absolutely call his agents even and say he was so good and we will remember him? We say that a lot. We will remember, and that's part of our job. And so I only say that because I don't want people to get discouraged. If you're going in repeatedly for the same casting office for different projects or the same projects, those casting directors believe in you and they want you to succeed. It's just a question of when. That's all.
Do you guys watch like a lot of demo reels or like clips on Actors Access?
Yeah, when we're casting something, for sure.
What do you guys prefer, like the full-on demo reel or like a clip of like something from a show or like specific to what you're looking for?
I mean, I think for us and for this type of thing, something comedic is definitely helpful. And not everybody has that kind of stuff up there, whether it's because they haven't had the opportunity yet or they don't have the film yet, the clip to put up there. It just depends what we're casting. We've cast dramas too, and we love casting dramas. We don't get to do it a lot because we're kind of known for comedy, which could be worse things. But I think you look for what you need.
You guys have worked with Bill Lawrence a ton. Like, what is it about? Like, do you guys have like this shorthand now, where you guys just automatically know what everybody wants, or like
we pay him really well? I think we have been together for a long time, and there absolutely is a shorthand that goes on, and there's a comfortability there. Look, I think everyone, from any facet of the business, any department, as you will, wants to be able to develop relationships, to have a shorthand and go to. I mean, at this point, as much as we'd love to meet new people, there's also some comfort in the fact of someone calling and saying, "Hey, I have a script. We're getting the gang back together," so to speak. And that's really what it is. And we've developed friendships with some of these people that we've known well over 20 and 25 years of working together. And so what you're getting into and what to expect. And there is a niceness to that. And to be able to have someone like Bill, who, for the most part, trusts us to then be able to say, you need to look at this person. You need to trust us on this. This particular person is great. They're going to do a great job. That's a gift. And I think we're so grateful to be able to have that.
I think I only have you for like another minute or so, but I always like to ask this question. What is like the craziest audition story you guys have?
Oh boy. Okay, I don't know where to go with this. Okay, I'm gonna go with One Tree Hill, Brett. I'm gonna go with One Tree Hill. Okay. So we were casting this role of this like Russian drug lord or mobster, or I don't know what you would say. Anyway, in the scene, he dumps, and he has James Lafferty's character like bound in a chair. And he walks over as he's berating him, and he douses him with a bottle of water. And in the audition, I was behind the camera, and Brett was reading with this actor who took a bottle of hand sanitizer, walked over to Brett, and started to dump it on him. And so I had to stop everything. I was just like, this is unacceptable. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you never touch a casting director. And I think you need to leave right now. We're done with this audition. And he eventually wrote like a note saying he was sorry, and his manager called and whatever. But like, who does that? I just don't know.
The best part of that story, though, for me was the note that came afterwards, and it was so like I was kind of in it, trying not to be like, I was like, okay, this is his process. But the note that came afterwards, it said to Debby Romano and her assistant, which is like what they thought I was, which is like, I was like, oh my God, not only did you dump sanitizer in my head, but you thought I was the assistant. Yeah, but we've had many crazy things. Debbie's had condoms thrown at her. We've had guns pulled on us in the scene. You know, I've had someone sit on my lap and start to address me. I've been kissed by actors. There's crazy stuff that happens. Yeah, crazy stuff that you're like, wow. And by people that obviously know better, who work a lot, who are well-known actors. And sometimes you just, you kind of laugh at it and go with it. But yeah.
I hope you keep all those tapes and like splice them together for like the Christmas party at the end of every year. That'd be like the best.
Oh my God, hilarious.
That's a funny question.
Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. And you guys are great. Shrinking is like the best show on TV right now.
Thank you, Lance.
So much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'll
Have a good day. Great
talk to you guys
weekend.
soon. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.